we are less than 1 week away from the brand new season in Destiny 2 that comes out on Tuesday, June 9th. And while we don't yet know what that season will be called, and while the Almighty is still careening towards us, ready to smash into the earth and break everything we have, there are some things you can do to get ready for that new season. The focus on this video will be how to prepare for Season 11, and a lot of it will center around getting bounties and making sure you have enough key resources. So let's jump right into it, how to prepare for the new season in Destiny 2. Okay, so one of the ways you can get ready for a new season is by saving up your bounties. And you want to do that because it'll help you level up your season pass a lot more quickly. If you look here at my character, I do have a bunch of bounties saved up. You want to grab bounties from the Vanguard, from Crucible, from Banshee. I even have some bounties here from the clan, so if these will give you a lot of XP. The idea here is that if you save these up and you turn these in when a new season comes out, that will help you level up your seasonal pass. And if you look here at your season pass, there are some really cool rewards you get, especially early on. So if you go back here to ranks 1 through 10, this will give you a lot of great stuff. Not only will you get things like upgrade modules, you'll get some of the new armor pieces that, while they may not be that great as far as stats, it is cool to get those pretty early on. Especially if you have the bottom track here, the blue track, this will give you some really good pieces of gear. This will give you some cool things like shaders and finishers. And this is just a great way of experimenting with the new season, and having bounties saved up will help you do that. So I highly recommend, if you can do it on all 3 characters, great. At the very least, so have one of your characters stocked up here on bounties. So I still have some work to do. I have to complete some of these Vanguard ones. And I even have to jump into the Gambit playlist, which you guys know I'm not a fan of. But this will be one of the ways you can get ready, is by saving up your bounties. If you're running low on space, so for instance, if you're running low on space right now, I'm at 57 out of 63. So I will not be able to grab every single bounty from Gambit. You can go in here and make sure that you clear out some quests that you've already completed. So for instance, I've already gotten done the Memento quest line on a different character. I can safely delete this and abandon it. This would be one way that you can clear up space. Remember that your total capacity is your quests plus your bounties. So as I'm deleting these here on my hunter, I'm freeing up one spot additionally, so now I'm at 55 out of 63. This will be a way that you can get more bounties on your character. So that's going to be the one way you can level up. That's going to be the one way you can get ready, is by saving up your bounties. Now there is one caveat to that, and that is I would recommend completing the weekly ones. So you notice here that there are some weekly bounties for the Crucible, weekly bounties for Gambit, and for the Vanguard. These I recommend completing them and turning them in, because they will give you 200 Bright Dust. With how tough it is to get Bright Dust in this game, you do not want to leave any on the table. So I would recommend getting done those weekly bounties and turning those in so you can get more Bright Dust. Especially on Tuesday, when the new season comes out, there may be something really cool that costs a lot of Bright Dust. You want to have as much of that as you can. So that's the first piece of information here in this video. Save your bounties up, turn them in on June 9th. Turn in all the weekly bounties before them to get more Bright Dust. Let's look at some other ways to get ready for the new season. Another way to get ready for a new season is by making sure that you have key resources and materials. So things like Glimmer, Legendary Shards, upgrade modules, etc. These are things that you want to accumulate right now heading into that season next week. So ideally, you'd be at the 250,000 Glimmer cap. Obviously, this is pretty easy to do. You get Glimmer just by playing the game. You can also visit Spider, who we're seeing right now. Having Legendary Shards will be important as well. You want to make sure that you have a nice stockpile of these too. So you get these pretty easily by breaking down non-essential gear. So right now is a good time to look at your character. If there's things that you don't need anymore, you can break those down. But you also want to check out your vault. If you're like me, you throw stuff in there not really thinking about it. Go to your vault, do a nice thorough inventory, and break down stuff you don't need. It's really important right now to break it down too, because if I break down gear right now, it'll give me 4 Legendary Shards versus 3 on Tuesday. And that's because I had my seasonal pass upgraded. So right now it's really important you get more value from breaking down the gear right now. So check out your vault. This will help you bump up your Legendary Shard total. Other things are even more important. So having things like enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, upgrade modules, these you do not want to be spending right now unnecessarily. Instead, you want to be accumulating these. So if you don't have your season pass upgraded, get those things done so you get some more upgrade modules. If you don't have enhancement cores, you can always visit Banshee and do those bounties and turn those in. You can always visit Spider and do some of his things too to get some of these things like Glimmer and to get things like enhancement cores. So these might be things that are worthwhile to jump into and get done right now if you're running low on things like cores. I also recommend visiting Spider each day too to see what he's selling as far as resources. These are going to be nice to have too. You want to make sure you have a nice amount of all of the different planetary destination materials just in case you need those to upgrade a cool weapon or armor that you get early on in the new season. So visit Spider, do his bounties if you're running low on Glimmer or enhancement cores, but also too check out what he's selling each day because this will help you have a nice well-rounded stock of the different planetary destination mats. So visit Spider each day and get those bounties done and buy his stuff he's selling. If you're running low on things like the enhancement prisms, and if you look at my character right now, I only have 2 of these. This is going to be something that you want to take advantage of this week too. Because you're at a higher power level, it'll be more easy for you to get done some of the more difficult nightfalls. So if I look at here at the Vanguard playlist, I'm running low on prisms. I need those. Now, if I look here at the different difficulties, I can pretty easily jump into the legend one. Even though matchmaking is off, I can find a fire team, jump into that, and this will give me enhancement prisms. Now, they're not very common. I would need to jump up to the 1030 to get those to be more common, but I can jump in here, I can farm the legend nightfall, and that will help me get enhancement prisms. If you're even a higher power level, like right now I could probably get a fire team and do the master difficulty, this will not only make the prisms more common, but I'll also be able to get ascendant shards. Now, if you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of how difficult those are to get, but I'd recommend if you have a high enough power level and a good enough team to farm the 1030 to get more prisms and have a chance at getting the ascendant shards. So that will be one way that you can get some of these more rare materials is by playing Nightfall the Ordeal. Another thing you can do too is if you have experience with the Pit of Heresy dungeon, and I'm going to look here at the moon right now. If you have experience with the Pit of Heresy dungeon, this right here is actually really useful because when you beat this, when you beat the final boss, you get a pair of masterworked armor. So while it may not have great stats, when you break that down, that will give you a really nice amount of materials. You'll get 6 enhancement prisms from that. So honestly, farming Pit of Heresy and beating that on 3 characters this week, that will give you up to 18 enhancement prisms. So if you're running really low like I am, I'll probably jump in here, I'll get to the final boss, I'll share that checkpoint on all 3 characters, and then I'll jump in and beat that boss. It's not too difficult to do. You'll get 18 enhancement prisms when you break that armor down. You may actually have some of that gear on your character. If I look here at my character right now, I do believe that I have a chest piece that is the Dreambane one. So this one right here, for instance, I do have this masterwork, and I do have this came directly from that Pit of Heresy. So if I broke this down, it would give me 6 prisms. You want to make sure that you're using this time this week to make sure that you have a lot of materials. Glimmer, shards, bright dust, modules, cores, prisms. That's going to be one of the things that you want to level up on this week going into next week so you have stuff to spend at your leisure. Let's take a look at other ways you can get ready for the new season. Okay, so to recap for this video, we covered a few key areas. First, we talked about bounties and why you want to save those up so that you can turn these in for the XP when the new season comes out. This will help you more quickly level up your season pass and get some of the cool new stuff that's only available in the next season. We talked about resources and why you want to have key materials like Glimmer, shards, prisms, cores, etc. so that you can upgrade your stuff more quickly when the new season comes out. The last thing I'll say here is you also want to take advantage of the final days here in the current season to get done things that are only available during Season of the Worthy. So things like the Almighty Seal, things like the Flawless Seal, you can still work towards these right now to get these things done. I myself have not made any progress here towards Conqueror. I may try to get some progress towards that, but if you have time and if you have the availability to get some of these seals, it might be worthwhile to jump into. That's going to be one of the things I'd recommend is once you have all your prep done, focus on getting done some of these last minute things for the current season. Let me know in the comments below what you guys liked most about this season and what you disliked most. In my particular case, I like that Trials came back, even though I had a lot of issues with it. it was still very fun those first couple weeks to play. I hope that they fix it moving forward. I didn't like the convoluted storyline this season that we had. I didn't like some of the bugs that we had in Trials, but I am still hopeful that the next season, Season 11, will be even better, and I'm hopeful too that it'll follow like we saw last year with Opulence being the best season. I hope that this season, the last one here for Year 3, will be the best and the brightest. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you on Tuesday for Reset.